Hey, what's going on? I'm Jon Vinyl, and you're watching the Hip Hop Guru.
My name is Alex. This is the Sit Down on the Hip Hop Guru, and today we have not only one of the most talented people out of Toronto, one of the best R&B acts in the world.
Wow. I like that.
Man, a friend, Jon Vinyl.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm living life. How are you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great.
Oh, man, beautiful studio, too. This is the hometown spot.
This is the home, man. This is where a lot of stuff has been made. My whole, Lost in You album was here. Yeah, shout out to the guys at Post Office. This is a spot. This is the spot for me. I love this place.
Oh, man, it's so nice. Came in, everything is so clean. It looks like I'm in, a studio where Dr. Dre would
Yeah,
before,
it's ridiculous. They did it. They did it here.
Right after, I might even record an album myself.
Yo, and it's going to sound incredible, too.
Oh, man.
Because you're here, man.
Yo, and you're locked. You got to be the feature artist.
All right, bet.
All right, you heard that, everybody. That's a sure bet. I wanted to start it off by saying congratulations on the recent release party.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How was that experience?
It was really cool, man. I've never been one to, do release parties and, album release parties like that. I've kind of strayed away from them for a long time, but I had to do it this time, I had to, and it was worth it. I was happy I did it.
Why did you want to keep away from doing that before?
So, yeah, usually, it just feels like a spectacle around me, and it's more so I want people to actually just listen to the music, but instead it's just a lot of people will just come up to you and talk to you, this and that, and they also just want you to perform. But I don't really feel like that's the purpose of it in particular. I feel like it's more to listen to the music. So because of that reason, and I was just a little shy back then too. So
rightfully so, you know. Yeah. You like those events where they're headphones and you have to
yeah, like the silent
yeah. You're just seeing everybody jam with no noise in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, those are cool. So, you just came back from some sick trips,
Yeah, man.
We're talking about Ireland, Italy. How was that? Because you're doing the vlogs too, which are really cool. Because not a lot of people do those.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really wanted to make sure that I documented everything that I was doing, and so yeah, we came back from Ireland and Italy as well. It was one of my very first just straight vacations. So it was really cool. We had a good time. It was 2 weeks out there, and we were just traveling, just going everywhere we could, man. Just trying to learn something new about the culture and just see different landscapes and landmarks as well. So it was a great trip, man.
What was your favorite part about Ireland?
Ireland, the cliffs of Moher, which were just these 300 million year old cliffs. If you watch the vlog, Jon Vinyl, go to my YouTube, Vinyl Vlogs. You'll see that there's these 300 million year old cliffs in Ireland, and yeah, it was just unbelievable. Just looking at them was just unreal, man.
Or even just watching the videotape, seeing it there, I was like, wow.
It was wild, bro.
Man, just history of the earth is insane, and to even think that it's still there, for something to be that old and still be there.
It's mind blowing. It's actually mind blowing.
Oh man, that's one of those places I want to definitely check out on my bucket list. So, when a lot of artists typically go and throw their first pitch at, baseball games, so for some reason the coordination is no longer there.
It ain't there, man. Something their arm just stops working a little bit.
It's you've lost the nerve endings in your arm.
I don't know what happens.
And then you try to throw it, and then it's just you lose the hand-eye coordination, But you're one of the only people in the history of baseball that went and threw a first pitch, and word on the street is that they contacted you.
They contacted me. Yo, the contract's pending. I would be honest, the contract's pending. I did my thing when I was on there. Yeah, I was out there, man. It's easy, I do this. I'm an athlete, what I'm saying?
You're just yo, I'm naturally gifted. Don't get it twisted.
Yo, no, but I was actually super excited to do it. I think I was looking around, and I was like, okay, this is a lot of people for sure. But I don't know. I was calm about it, and there's a lot of build up before it, so you kind of just start to relax a little bit more, get comfortable being there, and then you kind of get a feel for what it's like to even just be on the field a little bit. Obviously, it's not even compared to what these athletes are doing. A crowd yelling at you and just being excited and just it's your home team too. But no, it was really cool. It was a great experience. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to do it for sure. And I threw it, you know what I'm saying? I was going to throw it harder, you know what I'm saying? But they said calm down a little bit. So I said, all right, whatever. Let me just get it to the guy.
They're like, don't show off or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I said, all right, bet.
So what was running through your mind when you're like walking up to the base or whatever it is, and then you're ready to throw?
All I was thinking was like, yo, just get it to the guy in a cool fashion. Just like don't make like throw it to the crowd. Don't do anything crazy. Just throw it to the guy and then just walk off. You did your thing. All right, boom, hooray. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I did. I tried to just take it easy.
Yeah.
But if it was up to me, I would have literally threw a fastball, curveball, change up, something. You would have seen something, bro.
And then did like a, thank you everybody, like a one time.
Yeah, and they would have clapped crazy loud. They would have been like cheering. It would have been different, man.
That's one of those like that. Honestly, that's so cool that you did that because that's like a dream for so many people.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was definitely a really great experience. I'm happy I did that.
And you successfully threw the
and
pitch.
I threw it. I've seen some crazy videos.
No, that's crazy. So also you've had a couple billboards at Young and Dundas, which is really cool. And that's obviously every time. Congratulations. The recent one, you've got a Spotify one.
Yeah. Those are always crazy to see because I actually grew up not too far from there. I grew up at Jarvis and Dundas.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like down there a lot in like Dundas Square and just that area in general. I was there frequently. My mom would bring us out there to, just go eat at different places on that block and go to the Eaton Center, of course. And some years later, you know what I'm saying, there's just a crazy amount of billboards there now, and luckily, I've got a couple, and it's pretty surreal to see. It's massive. It's massive. But yeah, it's always great to have an opportunity to be on those billboards.
I saw last time you guys were waiting when it was winter time, and you're just like waiting for like hours, and then you're just like, all right, when's the moment gonna come?
Bro, Canada's different. And the thing about billboards too, man, you're sitting there for a little bit because there's so many ads, right? Mm-hmm. So you're sitting there for a little bit, and yeah, of course it was winter for us, so it was negative, in the negatives for sure. And we're just sitting there waiting, like, come on, like you didn't see behind the camera, but we were actually going, all right, hurry up,
You're like, yo, they should have told us the time or something.
Yeah, bro, like it was crazy, but I enjoyed it, man.
What was running through your mind? Because that's such a cool thing, seeing that up there. Your face on that, was that like this is a moment of realization that I am where I am kind of thing?
For sure, man. I think it's I think every artist needs a moment where they can bask in whatever they did, and like right now it's pretty cool because the Spotify Wrapped is like when we're recording this right now, and my head's down and I'm just going throughout the year. I don't really know what the numbers are. I don't really know what's going on. I just kind of see the impact of like what people say to me online. That's about it. And like maybe my shows. But it's like you don't really know the magnitude of like what you're doing in those moments until there's something that is shown that highlights it, right? And so the Spotify Wrap for your streaming is really cool. So I'm happy Spotify does that, which is really cool for most artists. You get to kind of see how much music you've been putting out and like how many hours people have spent with your music, who's your number one. And so it's cool. I think everybody should have a moment like that in their career because it will help you move forward a little bit. And that's the billboards for me. And that's also the Spotify Wrapped. And there's so many different moments that I have the privilege of receiving now because before it wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? Like sure. You would just be in your basement working on a song and just hoping and praying, so.
That's the part that people forget because a lot of music is created in times of when it's like a tough time, right? And it's seeing those little things are very important because it's hard to celebrate the little wins, but each win adds up, and that's a huge even like seeing the year by year how you grow continually, and the added hours and the added fans and the added countries even, it's
exactly. It's super important because otherwise, it's not like your typical job where you 9 to 5, you maybe get a promotion. It's like, nah, like your promotion is like, maybe a couple new followers, maybe a couple new listeners. But sometimes it can be so small that you don't even realize how important it actually is. But it's still important, and it's good to recognize it. So
no, absolutely, and congratulations to you on that.
Thank you, man.
What was the one country that you saw somebody's listening from that you were like, whoa, I didn't even know.
On my Spotify Wrapped, actually, the Philippines was like a really big market for me. It was actually my top 5.
Yeah.
So that was pretty
Wow.
cool to see. Like,
That's awesome.
I haven't even been to like Asia or like Africa yet. So I mean, I had a lot of like African like continents as well. So I mean, yeah, those are pretty crazy because I mean, you know, we live in Canada, so you know, North America is normal for you, and to see, you know, across the world, like
it's insane.
It's insane, bro.
How far you can really reach around the world with even like you know the internet at your fingertips. You know, you can. It's not like you have to do like local stuff first. You can literally go and have success anywhere in the world.
Exactly. My favorite thing I say is my music sometimes goes places that I've never been. Yeah,
I like that.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
And you know, it's crazy because you never know where you're. So now you're gonna do the worldwide tour. You know, you're gonna start off in Asia, go to Africa, every single country within, and then come back for the the homecoming out here.
We're just praying they buy some tickets. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
But the homecoming is definitely gonna be here for sure.
That's gonna be a good one, and you have to invite us on every. We'll do the
absolutely.
All right, respect.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about growing up in Toronto, and then also between the city. How was that upbringing on your musical career and how it helped you become who you are today?
Well, I think the one thing that a lot of us Torontonians have in common, no one says that. I don't know why I said that. Nobody says that. But one thing we all have in common, I think, is we're just like I am at least very open to, a lot of different cultures and like what other people listen to. And I think that's like a trend in our like music, like the world's music taste, because you're seeing like Afro beats and Latin music as well. And I think Toronto's really always been that. I mean, we've always been embracing everything. So for me growing up, I think I was just aware of everybody's culture.
No, for sure.
Way more. And when I moved to Pickering, I was just like that just kind of stayed with me. So my music tastes, like what I listen to, all of that has always been a little bit influenced by everything that I grew up around. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Because your mom also helped you get into a lot of music as well, right? And then you're listening to like Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder, Otis Redding, Jodeci, Maxwell, Boyz II Men, the legends in this thing.
Yeah, man. And it was crazy. There was always like a specific song back then that like I could remember, and it was like with Luther Vandross, such a sad song, but like Dance With My Father was like a crazy song that my mom always used to listen to. It was so sad though, but it was a great record. If you haven't heard it, definitely check it out.
And that's crazy too, because as you're growing up and you're younger, like you're just like, this is a cool song. But as you get older, you're like, wait a second, I'm kind of noticing what they're talking about in these lyrics,
Yeah, it kind of resonates
you're just
a little
more.
more.
What the hell's going on?
You're like, what the? It's funny.
Oh man, there was this one guy on TikTok actually I saw, and what he does is he plays the song and then he's like reacting to what they're actually saying. I forget the guy's name. I wish I knew, but it's like he's like watching. And he's like, wait a second. And then he noticed what they say, and then he's like, "Oh."
It's like, damn.
Oh man, it's actually really funny. So your brother, everything within the family, which I really like, and then your brother encouraged you to fully pursue music.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, man, I was not making music at the start, man. I was just, I was that kid who was outside. I was skateboarding. I was doing everything other than music. I couldn't stay inside. Never was good at school. There was always something else that I was good at, whether it was like soccer or like basketball when I was younger, snowboarding. I still snowboard to this day, but like, I would do everything except for music, and I always loved it. I always enjoyed listening to it, but I think there was a moment in time where I kind of started imitating different songs that I heard. And it was my brother who was kind of like, yo, like that actually didn't sound that bad. Like you should try that. You should practice a little more. Yeah. And so I did. And now we're having an interview, with you.
Hey man, we're in the position with you, man. Come on. We're blessed. So how is it like having family as management?
It's cool, man. I enjoy it. I mean, me and my brother have a really good relationship, so I think of course there could be moments, with a sibling where
of course
they can say anything to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's your family, so but other than that, I feel like It's pretty simple. It's easy. I enjoy it. It's he has your best interest into heart. So that's really cool.
Because that's the tough part too, right? Because when you put together a team, finding people you can trust, and then but with your family, especially your brother, you know, it's the best interest is exactly of that growing up, and you don't have to like learn who the person is. You're kind of, you have no choice but to know because you've been around them so long, you know.
That's exactly it, man. You nailed it. That's exactly it.
So you grew up with Shawn Mendes as well, and I only ask because
Young Shawn.
Shout out to Shawn. He's going crazy, you know.
Always going crazy.
And
you know?
But you guys grew up a little bit, kind of making music and stuff like that, because you guys are good friends.
Yeah.
But you recently did a Tommy Hilfiger ad with him. How was that?
I was sick, man. I love that kind of stuff because it's so cool to like just like be on set together and just like it's so fun. It's so fun, and especially when you know the people who are behind the cameras and like the production teams, they can all tell that you guys have an energy and a vibe together where it's fun and you guys are friends. It's just imagine like one of your friends you brought them to work that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a fun time. So that was really cool. I enjoyed that so much. We had a lot of fun just shooting, and yeah, it was also for Tommy Hilfiger, which was crazy. And funny story about that, actually. We're gonna take a little trip here, a little ride, okay? A little story time with Jon Vinyl, okay? So one time,
Jon Vinyl, let's go.
I was actually in like, so naturally, you have to do like hair and makeup, whatever. So I'm like in this like little mirror doing makeup, and next to me there's just like this woman, and I'm just like, hi, like, how are you? Like, we start talking, and she starts talking to me, and she's like, oh, so where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Canada. I later find out that was Elon Musk's mom.
No way.
May Musk.
Wow.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
What are the chances of that?
It was so weird. I wish I asked for a Tesla.
Yeah. You're just like, I'll take one, the base model.
Yeah, base model. Yo, I don't even need the autopilot. Like,
what's the half steering model? You're just like, yo, I don't need the plaid version.
It was crazy, man. And she was just so cool, like so nice. And yeah, I had no idea who she was. And then I later found out after doing a whole day like shoot with her that it was Elon Musk's mom.
That's so cool. She was working on the project kind of thing?
Yeah, she's actually a model. She's a model. So she just happened to be there. She got like, I guess, what's the word? Like, I don't know, just an agency picked her up, said, hey, like, May, would you want to? And it just happened to be Elon Musk's mom. It's crazy, man.
When you find like there's so many questions,
The world is small. Yeah, I wish. I honestly, I truly wish. You know, like the small talk you have with people that you don't really know that well. That's what we had. I had way more questions. You know what I'm saying?
You're just like, I want to know everything.
Everything.
But that's a cool thing too, because when people are truly humble, their energy will just be genuine, and it's like you don't have to like overly kind of show people who you are to try to feel that. And then it's just super, super genuine. So that's really cool.
Super cool, man.
So with that as well, you're on a crazy run, with these ads. And then you did the Converse one. And then, so with Converse, I was actually watching this interview. It was with Tyler, the Creator. And I'm watching the guy speak. And then I see the camera pan out. And then I'm like, wait a second. I had pause. And I was like, is that Jon?
Life's crazy, man. Life is crazy. I remember that day though. It was crazy. We were in Paris. Yeah, I was there for a Converse shoot that was like this global campaign. And we were at a specific location, and they said that our guest speaker that day was Tyler, the Creator.
They didn't say it before?
So they said it. We knew, but we didn't know what time. Like, we had a whole day that was like planned, so we were just going through the day. And then like when it was time for him to pull up, he pulled up, and we're like, oh, that's Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool, man. Like, sometimes in life, things happen and you go, wait, what is going on? But yeah, I remember that viral clip. If you guys could find it, it was so funny. But there was a viral clip of him talking to one of the people that was in the audience. And yeah, it just went crazy. And then you could see like a glimpse of me.
You're there.
There. But I was just minding my business. I was quiet. But
you know what's crazy about that interview too? I'd actually posted a clip where he was talking about NFTs, and then he was like, I'd rather not do this because it's not a real life thing. But then like, and then It was I'd rather go buy a book or somebody and talk to about my friends. I posted the clip and I got a hate speech thing from Instagram, and I'm like, yo, he's talking about something positive, you know?
Cut it out, Instagram. Oh my god.
I was like, I was flabbergasted, you know? I was just at a loss for words.
That's crazy.
But so you're doing the vlog stuff. How was Paris? That must have been a cool place.
Paris is really cool. Converse treated us, I mean, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So for context, I'm a part of like a program called the Converse All Stars. Essentially, you just instead of Converse having, you know, a bunch of different people that they have to contact every, like, you know, couple like months when they want to do a new campaign, they have this like collective of people who are creatives and do different things. So that's kind of what the Converse All Stars are. And I was one of them.
Canada rep?
I was one of the Canada reps. There was a couple Canada reps actually, but I was one of them at that time. I don't know if I still have any more Converse, call me. But yeah, no, I was one of the reps, and yeah, they treated us unbelievably. Like, it was such a great experience. They took us out to like different dinners out there. They had like sprinters outside for us of our hotel. Like, our hotel was incredible as well. They would like leave gifts on our beds and stuff. Like, it was truly incredible. I like shout out Converse. They know how to do it. But Paris was unbelievable. I think that was my first time going, and yeah, I got to see it in a pretty special way.
The best way possible, man. So you're literally moving around like you're like the president kind of thing.
I was moving like the prezi, man. Yeah. I was moving like the prezi.
You're just like calling up the driver, yo, we need to go to the event right now. It's just like ready up the sprinter.
They already had my name. They were waiting for me. It was crazy. Like, they were moving different out there.
It's like when you came back, you're just like, dang, you know, it's like tough to go back to it.
Yeah, man. I came back, I was on the GO train, man.
You're just like
TTC GO train, like, man, what the heck?
No, but that's, you know, that's an even larger Mercedes Sprinter, you know? So it's like, and you get to just check the schedule. So it's the same thing.
Yep.
So with your music videos and your cover art are all very, very unique. You know, and one thing I noticed is that on the projects leading up to the newest stuff, you're looking in one direction, and you're never like looking at the camera.
Yeah.
So is that something that you've planned because you're just too disgusted with the camera, or is it like, you know, it's
the camera sucked, dog. No, I think I just naturally just pose that way when we're doing, like, you know, the photo shoots. I guess it just feels natural, and a lot of the times when I'm, you know, doing those photo shoots with, you know, the photographers, they're always just like tell you to pose, like, and you just kind of do whatever, you know, feels natural. And I don't know what it is, bro. Like, I'm always just sideways, like fully sideways like this. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, just natural, I think.
Yeah, no, it's all cool. It's like, you know, I just joke, but it's like it's really, even on the latest one, you know, like the eyes are closed, you know, it's like they're sleeping on me kind of thing.
Sleeping on me, man. Yeah. Sleeping on me. I always say, yo, I'm the most known artist, but I'm still unknown. It's so weird. Yeah. It's so weird. Most known artist.
Why do you feel that?
I just feel like, okay, so there was this one time I went on tour with a guy named Tone Stiff. He's like an R&B artist. You already know. He's like he's a really dope artist. He wrote some songs for Chris Brown. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about him, but crazy talented, plays like instruments, whatever. I went on tour with him, got the opportunity to do that. And every night, I think I did probably like 7 cities in America. Every night, I would go out there, and it was just me. I was so scared. This was like, this built character. Yeah, this built character. But I was out there every single night, and I just was praying someone would know my songs. And nobody knew my face, ever. Never. They never really knew who I was. But as soon as they heard their favorite song, they were like, oh, that's you? Yeah. And that would happen every single night a couple times, like 5 to 10 times. It was crazy. So that was a big thing. So I realized that a lot of people know my songs, but maybe don't know my face.
And that's why you're like, it's vlog time.
That's vlog time, baby. Yeah. No, but I kind of like it, too. I kind of like it because I can move tack. I can move tack, bro.
It's like military.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. But I do see people out in Toronto, like they sometimes will look at me and they'll be like, you look familiar, but I could tell they're like not sure, so they're like, I'm not even gonna bother with it, and they just go about their business. But it happens a lot.
You know, it's crazy too because there's a disconnect because you have all these songs, and then when it comes on, people are just like, whoa, that's crazy. So what was the biggest like learning lesson or like biggest like discovery that you found with those shows that gave you the confidence for the next ones?
Yeah, I think it was that. That was the first time where I was like, okay, I guess the music's good. Like people actually resonate with it, and then there would be a lot of moments on tour where I didn't have my own engineer out there, so like I didn't have my own sound engineer who was like making sure like everything was like good for me, right? So I was trusting the person that was just there at the venue, which is like,
it's a wild
if
card.
if you're a musician, you know, like that's a little risky, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe that person who's there isn't, you know, well versed in R&B or isn't well versed in, you know, whatever genre you do. Like maybe they're like more into rock. You never know, right? So that would happen to me every night, and so it was kind of a toss up. I didn't really know who I was gonna get, and so there was nights where I would walk out, and you know, my mic just wouldn't even work.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I'm singing my heart out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm killing it. Like I'm thinking I'm killing it. And then one girl just like looks at me and says, "We can't hear you." And I said, "Oh no." I was like, "You can't hear me?" And I remember it was in Washington, and I remember that night I was like, "Okay, you guys can't hear me?" And I just like put away the mic. Like I didn't use the mic anymore. And I was like, "Okay, should I do my walkout again? Like should I just redo it?" And they're like, "Yeah." So then I went backstage again, and then I walked back out, like doing my song. And it was like moments like that. It was character building, bro. Like you really had to learn how to adjust and adapt to being on stage when things happen. And that was my biggest thing. It made me fearless on stage, to be honest. Yeah.
No, that's cool that the crowd was also very receptive to be able to like give, you know, because a lot of people are very, you know, hardcore, you know? And
super hardcore, like, man. They're like, come on, give us a good show. Like, and you know, they don't have like really like any empathy for those moments, but yeah, man.
Hey man, you took the opportunity and you really made it something to your advantage, you know?
I tried my best, man. Tried my best.
And it's hard to perform, man. We recently, shout out Rory and Mal, we did the we opened for them, and it was my first time on stage. Wow. And I was like, damn, turntables have turned or whatever. And again, I'm like looking at all the lights. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of people, you know?
It's hard. It's really hard. To entertain a group of people it's a whole different thing, bro.
Oh, man. So a huge new level of respect, honestly, you know, because it's easy to go to a show, watch somebody, could be like, all right, whatever, you know, that's good, all right, whatever. But to go on the stage and have true ultimate confidence in yourself, that takes a lot of courage.
It takes a lot, man. Thank you, though.
No. So you had a cool strategy with your releases where at the beginning you were putting out singles before kind of EPs or albums or anything like that. So tell me about your strategy with that and why you did that.
Yeah, you did your research. I like this. This is really dope. I'm like, you did your job. Like, nah, you did your research for real. Like, that's so crazy that you said that because I have a lot of conversations with like, you know, different artists that are like up and coming and stuff. And yeah, I mean, for me, when me and my brother were releasing songs, we said to ourselves, we're like, okay, do we have a fan base? No. Do we love making music? Yes. Do we want to get in front of more people? Yes. So we're like, all right, what's the best way to go about this? Okay. Are we going to drop an album? Well, an album's for fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just drop an album. Yeah. Like, who's listening to that? Yeah, you know, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that album. You know, you put all your resources into that. And it's like, you don't have a fan base. So it's like, that doesn't make sense. So it's like, okay, maybe we drop singles. So we're like, yeah, that sounds right. So we just dropped singles over and over and over. Hey, I'm here. Look at me. My name is Jon Vinyl. I'm here. I can make music. And I think what happened was people started catching on a little bit, and we slowly built something from singles, and then we gave an EP, and then we gave an album, and then we gave another couple singles, then an album. And I think that was like the best method for us. So I think a lot of artists who, you know, are making music, they should kind of treat it like that as well. I mean, if you don't have a fan base, I know like there's some artists who are, you know, album artists, but if you don't necessarily have a fan base, I don't think it's a smart idea for you to put all your time and resources into making an album and like, you know, a beautiful studio and there's no one to listen to it.
Yeah.
So that was our biggest takeaway.
Honestly, I think it's the best strategy in my opinion, because it also allows you to work on each song in more like strength kind of thing, you know, because you're not working on like a whole project. You're working on completing the best song at the time. And then you use that to your advantage to the next one, then you grow. And then it also is a great strategy promotional wise, because you don't have to work on pushing all these different songs. You're working on pushing one and having that everywhere. Yeah.
Exactly. It felt like the smartest way for us, and I think a lot of artists should pay attention to that method. I mean, I understand that some artists, you know, they're like really for the art and they don't want to, you know, have just one song that doesn't define them as who, like as an artist and who they are as an artist. But I mean, if you don't have a fan base and you put that song out, it's like, or like those songs out, it's like, and nobody's listening, like, do you feel better? Like, does it make you feel better that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's tough, but
sure.
you know, that was our method. That's what worked for us. I think everything's changing and everything's different. I mean, you could just go on TikTok nowadays and just like blow up and then boom, your song
Game
goes
changed.
crazy. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So which single was it for you that kind of gave you that ultimate confidence and realization that, yo, I can do this as a career?
Yeah. So when I first made music, I didn't release music for 5 years while I was like I was still like learning how to make music, and I didn't release a song for 5 years. And then I finally put out my first song, and I was like, I think this is gonna be the one that does well. And that was Nostalgia, which is like my first ever record in 2017. Once I put that out, I was like sure that like it was gonna do all right, or like people would like it if they heard it. I didn't know if anyone was gonna hear it. And I was saying 10,000 streams, like 10,000, I'll be good. If I get 10,000 streams, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And it surpassed that by a lot. But that was just my first like confidence booster, because my first song, you know, it got like 10,000 pretty quickly, and then it was like 56,000. Then it was on Fresh Finds, which was like massive at the time. I had like 500,000 like followers on it, and then it was at the very top of the list on Fresh Finds. So
usually they put it at the bottom.
They
or
put
something.
at the bottom, or like 22nd, like, you know what I mean? Like I was number one. I was the first one you seen if you click the playlist. So I got blessed, and
you're moving different. You're
yeah,
like, don't talk to me nice.
Wait a minute, dog. And yeah, it took off from there. And then, to be honest, I was scrambling after that record, though. Like, I had no idea what I was going to put out. I knew I could do it. Like, I could do this whole music thing, but I didn't know what I was going to put out, what songs were next, what people needed to hear. I had no idea.
For the follow-up kind of thing, because you're like, I kind of feel like I'm a little bit in a position where if people like it, if they don't, kind of thing, yeah?
Yeah, I had no idea, like, if people were going to like the next thing I put out, and then somehow they did.
Well, it worked,
I just kept on going. Man.
But you took that opportunity and you ran. It's like success happens when opportunity meets preparation kind of thing, you know? And you took it to that path of success.
We made it happen, man. We really did. I'm so happy. I wish that could be, you know, a lot of people's strategy in terms of like releasing music, and it happens for them like that. But we definitely got very lucky. And it was at a time where like all eyes were on Toronto too. Shout out Drake for that too, because he continuously shouts out the city.
It's crazy.
Not hate on it, man. He put us on the map. It's actually crazy. But shout out Drake, shout out The Weeknd, shout out everybody. You know what I'm saying?
When's the Drake Jon Vinyl track dropping?
Damn. Shout out OVO, man. They're all fire. Shout out 40. Holy. When I was like growing up, I was like in their studios a lot and just like working around 40 a lot. And yeah, I mean, you could see why they are where they are, man. They're unbelievable. Shout out 40. He's unbelievable. He's a master at his craft.
Oh, legend. Yeah.
And it's so funny because you'll hear Drake say it in his songs, like, without 40 Ali, there'll be no me. Like, bro, those guys are unbelievable at what they do as well. Just as good as Drake is at, like, good at, like, what he does
for
as
sure.
well. So
They make that sound together because each person comes correct with what he does, and what he does. And then that kind of, it's like when Golden State had the big three or whatever, and they came together and nobody could stop them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a team, man. It's a team. So they're an incredible team. And there's a lot of people behind the scenes that you won't ever hear about, but yeah. And I'm not going to name drop them, but yeah, they're great. Everybody at OVO is incredible, man.
It's amazing. So I actually didn't know that you worked with 40. So what was like the biggest learning lesson? Because I feel like he'd have so much knowledge to share.
Yeah, I mean, 40's just like Google walking. He's like, when I was younger, I took electrical. Like, I did like electrical work. That's what I did before music. So I was like into like electrical work, and I was trying to learn how to be like an electrician because I had neighbors that were around me who did electrical.
Cool.
And ended up starting like to make music, whatever. Went to that studio and like was around 40, and he would just let us use his like equipment and just like make songs and just like bullshit really. And we like would connect over just like some electrical stuff. Like, he just knew like electrical just because he just did the research on his own and just
that's crazy.
knew how to like solder.
Oh, wow.
Like circuits, like in boards and stuff. It was crazy. And I was just like, what? Like,
How
you
do
know
you
how
know
to
this?
do this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
And it was wild. Like, he just knew electronics, which was like a course at Durham College that I took for like my electrical techniques, course that I was doing at a college.
Wow.
And he just knew things already. So, I mean, that's a testament to where like his brain's at, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, it's crazy because like I wish I could just like have a passion and look into it, and I'll be like, yo, test me, like, let's see what I know.
Yeah, see what I know. Yeah.
So let's talk about the new album, Heartbreak Hill. It's an EP, sorry, rather not album. 8 songs. Let's start off with the explanation of the name of the project.
Yeah, so Heartbreak Hill was kind of the idea of just being at the top of this hill of like emotion and a relationship, and kind of just looking down from the top of the hill and having a better understanding of it all. So imagine, you're at the top of the hill and you could see more. It's like a vantage point. You could see more. You could see more buildings. You could see more land. You could see more water, whatever. It was that towards, relationship, emotion, all these different things. And it was being at the top of that hill of understanding what was going on in your relationships and your situations.
Like a bird's eye view.
Having a bird's eye view. And that was the idea of Heartbreak Hill, and it came together so randomly.
Yeah?
Yeah, it really did, but it ended up working, and it ended up being the name, so yeah.
I like the first song too. It's like it's like you're tapping into a voicemail kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. We tried to make it kind of feel cinematic and just like a moment in time. I miss those albums and like those EPs where they would have like from top to bottom, it would be like a movie.
Perfect sequencing.
Yeah. But so that was kind of like an ode to that. But it's hard these days because people aren't really they're trying to just hear a song quickly,
No, but that's what I liked about your project too, because what I noticed, like even with the track Heartbreak Hill, Nice Guy, Wasted, C'est La Vie, Numb, Let This Go, Changing, Broken Hearts, it's like it's a journey through the path of what you went through in your life.
Yeah.
And each song is like a different chapter into the album. So it's like I'm listening to one, then you listen to the next one where it's a clear change in feeling, then kind of wasted, you're starting to feel like you're just hungover on what you were going through. And then and you have some really cool lines in there too, right? And what do you think one of your favorite or most personal songs from that one is?
Personally, I like C'est La Vie was one that I wrote by myself, and Nice Guy Drowning was the original name for it, but Nice Guy and C'est La Vie were like songs that I just wrote by myself. I just had those in the vault randomly.
Yeah.
So those are definitely close to me, but my favorite would definitely be Changing. Changing just feels good to me, you know. It feels like a light out camera like light out moment where, you know, everybody could just be singing along and just feeling, you know, wholesome in that moment.
For sure.
You know? But yeah, probably changing for me.
You know, it's interesting too, because you're talking about how you're at the top of the hill, and then changing is like, you know, the song where it's, all right, I'm ready to reach that next point of my life, you know?
Exactly. And it kind of feels like that as a record. It's just, I'm moving on. I'm all right. Like, I see what happened. I get it now.
I know for you, it also took a bit to complete this one, and it was kind of tough. Talk about like how you were able to get to that point of it's at its final point, and you know this is what you want to finally release, because it's hard to, you know, put a lot of that to the world.
Yeah, it's always hard to do that, especially as an artist. It's just like, you know, you hear a million different things, but I think the biggest thing for me was putting trust in the people I was working with as well, and just truly putting trust into them and being like, okay, yeah, like they're saying it's good, like everything's fine on this part. Because I was the kind of guy who was like, wait, guys, should we go do this and like tweak this a little bit? And they're like, nah, bro, it's fine. So definitely having trust in your people that you're working with, because, you know, you could definitely overthink it a little bit. But yeah, that was a big thing for me. And then also just listening back to the songs, trying to be like as unbiased as possible, and just genuinely thinking like, okay, if I was a fan, you know, and I was listening to this song, you know, I liked Jon Vinyl songs. Would I like this? Is this like similar to some of the songs that, you know, they've heard before? And would they like it? And generally, like overall 90%, it was like, yeah, they probably would like, you know, enjoy these records. So putting trust in that as well was important to me. And yeah, there's a point where you have to just like, oh, man, you really do. And I had to do that at some point.
So I have a question for you. So being able to turn that, you know, new chapter, because it's really hard to be in a situation and then tell yourself, right, it's time for me to move on. What was it for you that gave you that like light that it's time to kind of turn a page in this book and move on?
In terms of just like the EP, like the album, or
just in general, about being in a situation and then, you know, kind of giving yourself the confidence that it's time to, you know, reach a new, like a new version of yourself.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's so weird because when you're making music, you can always hear you know, a different version of what you're already making. And so with this, like with these songs, I was kind of like, okay, like I could see where I could totally change everything that I'm doing right now and just kind of tweak it to make it a little bit more, you know, different from what they're usually used to.
Yeah.
So accepting that could be a thing and you could just move on and kind of turn a new page and be like, all right, like let's switch it up a little bit. I think that's the beauty in like making music and just being an artist, because that next chapter could be the next big thing for you, right? So I think I'm always easy in letting go of those, you know, moments and being like, all right, let's move on. Like we could do the next thing, you know. And I'm always relaxed about it. So
I wanted to ask you too, because Wasted was the single that you guys went with. What made you want to choose that one as the main one?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think we had it ready and we were like, yo, this is cool. Like, let's drop it, you know? But the other songs, they took a lot more. They took a lot more time, and the arrangement of them were a little bit different. We wanted to like switch it up. So yeah, Wasted was just ready to go. It was just ready, and we thought it was pretty cool. And so yeah, we just kind of put it out. But I think the biggest thing for us is like we're not trying to overthink everything, bro.
Yeah. It's still fun, you know? It's
yeah, we're trying to make it fun. Like the feeling, like when you're listening to music, it's a feeling, bro. Like it's literally a feeling. And in the studio, sometimes you're like, but should this be like that? It's like, no, what feels good? And that's the biggest thing, man.
So I have a question, which is just in general, because you have a lot of music that's about love and heartbreak. How is it performing songs that are a little bit older? Because if you were to go and perform the song as you know, the feeling that you had of that time, how is it performing it? Because it could open up those old chapters of your life.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like for me, I kind of just accept that it was a time in my life. You know what I mean? So I accept it as just being a time in my life, and it's not how I feel right now, but it's like something that was a part of, you know, my life, a chapter in my life. So I sing it, feel good about it, move on to the next, you know. But yeah, that's kind of.
You know, it's because it's interesting because, you know, obviously as a music fan, because I'm not a journalist. We were talking about it before. I'm not a journalist.
Yeah.
Shout out to the journalists, but
Shout out journalists.
I'm just a music fan. But as going to some concert, I think Murs, when I was watching his show once, he said that I can't perform this song because it brings me back to a point where I'm in a tough space emotionally, and don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was a while ago. So
yeah.
But it's like, it's crazy because you think about it, things that are said in songs, you know, it's just
true.
like,
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I think most of the songs that I've wrote though, like and like collabed with other people, it's like I don't feel that way yet. But there could be, you know, that moment where it's like it brings me back, and I have a lot to talk about, which is crazy. But I haven't dove into that chapter of my world because there's a lot that like people don't really know about like my life and stuff. So I mean, yeah, I haven't really like dove into that. So for me personally, it doesn't feel that personal yet. It is 100% personal, but it's not as personal as it possibly could be. And I could relate to, you know, what he was saying where it could bring you back to a place where you're like, oh man, like I don't even know if I really want to talk about that.
Just skip over
skip over it, like click skip. They're
like, encore, say this song, and you're just like, yo, have some respect, man. You know what's wrong with you?
You're like, I don't know about that.
If you were to go back and kind of give yourself some advice, you know, with everything that you know now, what would it be?
I mean, I think it's just don't overthink every single thing that you're doing. Understand that the business side of the music industry is very important, and it's called the music business for a reason. And just continuously practice every part of your being that makes you feel insecure. I can't even speak right now. But everything that makes you feel like kind of insecure, just like make sure that you like practice that, because in media and just like being in front of like people, that is gonna get exploited. Like it's gonna be, you know,
ask you craziest questions. Say, yo, wait a second, wasn't there like a respect line? You know?
It's gonna be blown up in front of everybody. So I think that's important. But those are the main things I'd say.
You know, it's interesting too because you're an independent artist. You know?
Yeah, man.
So like, and you're doing all these big things, and I wanted to know if like you'd be independent forever. Is that something you want to stick with, or is it something you want to be like, yo, you know, it got to this point? Because
I mean, I think it's definitely just working for us right now. I mean, if it makes sense, I think that's what it was initially. We're just like, if it makes sense to, you know, go to a label and, you know, it works out for us in that sense, then we'd be like very open to going to a label. But as of right now, you know, we are doing like great numbers. The growth is in front of you. You know, you can see it every single year. But if it all makes sense, you know,
there's no need.
The label's calling, we and it makes sense, and we're like, okay, we could do this, then we'll do it. But as of right now, it's calm. We don't really.
You guys are doing your thing, man. And then, when people listen to Jon Vinyl, what do you want them to experience?
I want them to just tap into, you know, especially if they relate to, you know, the content that's being said in the songs. I want them to relate to what's going on, and maybe be honest about how they feel about whatever it is that, you know, whether it's a relationship or, you know, a realization within, you know, the relationship, being honest about it and addressing it, because I think we tend to just kind of push it all aside sometimes. So, yeah.
So that's honestly a great answer. And then, so I just want to know as well, what is something that your fans would not know about you?
What would they not know about me? What do I not show? Damn, I play a lot of Call of Duty. I be on that Call of Duty a lot. What else? Yeah, like I'm definitely a gamer. And I'm like, I play a lot of sports. I'm like, I do a lot of like athletics like stuff, I guess, like snowboarding. Like I could skateboard, snowboard, like play soccer with some of my friends, basketball, like yeah, like we could do all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's probably the main thing. I cook a lot. I also sometimes just do a lot of like home improvement type of stuff, like at my house. I don't know. I be doing some random stuff.
This guy's living the life, man. Come on. So who's your favorite basketball team that you follow right now?
Honestly, I don't be following like basketball teams in particular, but I definitely watch like a lot of highlights and just like I try to like keep in touch with what's going on in like, you know, the media in terms of basketball and stuff, but like that Victor Wembanyama guy is a problem, bro.
You see the highlights
He's
on
actually
that?
a problem, bro.
Yo, this guy's blocking it. He's taking 2 steps and then he's dunking it. Like, yo, you've taken 2 steps.
He's a problem. I'm watching him on defense too. I'm just like, bro, like, what are you supposed to do with that, bro?
Oh man, I was watching the game or the highlights of when they played the Raptors, and OG, you know, shout out to OG.
Shout out OG.
Amazing basketball player, future of the Raptors, but this guy is unguardable, you know, like or unstoppable. And I didn't say his name properly, no offense.
Yeah.
Victor, you know, it's like, and he's blocking anything, and then he's dunking anything. He's putting his hand up. He's touching the top of the backboard.
It's crazy, bro.
I'm like, yo, we should have tanked for that guy. You know, why did we not do that?
Yeah, there should be a limit to the height, man. At this point. I remember I went to like it's a random, like it sounds like I'm flexing, but I went to a random like Miami like practice gym because I was with like Shawn. We were like in a Miami, like I can't remember where we were, but he was doing like an arena there, and we were in the practice gym, and there was like a 7-foot, kind of just like, I don't know what to call it, but it was like this like plastic like thing that was like had its hands up.
Oh, like one of those cutout things.
Yeah. I don't know what to call it, but it was like a practice like dummy kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
And bro, trying to shoot over a 7-foot, you know, like with their arms up is crazy, bro. It's a different kind of arc. You start to realize why Steph Curry shoots the way he does. Yeah. Like only at 6'3", being able to shoot like that, bro, his arc is crazy. Like he has to be able to.
You've seen he shoots it, and he can shoot it like in practice where it goes like up in the sky, exits the building, goes back
it exits
in, and then
the globe,
goes
around. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Oh man, man, Steph Curry, incredible shooter, best shooter of all time. Obviously, Ray Allen's there, but like, you know,
all time great. Shout out Reggie.
Reggie too. Yeah.
But yeah, all time great for sure.
Man, we got to find a way to get Steph Curry in Toronto.
Yeah. Yo, he has deep ties out here, man.
Yeah, his wife is from here, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
His ties out here for sure.
I'll tell him, yo, follow your dad's steps, play for the Raptors.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly what it is, man. Del Curry, he was here, man. He was here as he was a Raptor.
Oh, man. I remember seeing those pictures, too, like him on the bench with the pops and all that, you know?
Yeah, that's got to be motivating. You look back at that?
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Jeez, bro. So what should we expect next?
Next up, we got some more singles gonna come up for sure. There's a lot of stuff coming, but I don't know if I'm able to say it. I don't have the green light. Realistically, I can say it because I'm independent, but realistically, I don't know. So I'm not gonna say too much, but just know I might be in a city near you. Coming soon, if that gives you enough hint of a hint.
There you heard it, everybody. The tour is coming.
But yeah, I mean, just singles, more music, more visuals. I'm trying to just take it to another level where I can, you know, kind of touch my fans a little bit more, be more like personable, show what I do day to day, that kind of stuff. So the vlogs are going to be very important. I hope you guys tune into that. Vinyl Vlogs on YouTube. Jon Vinyl is the name. But yeah. Just that kind of stuff.
Right there, yeah. Okay. Yo, I hope we record on this.
You ready to record a song?
No, I'm ready, man.
You might have to go record a song right now.
Right there.
I have to leave you guys and go record a song. All right.
I could do a beat breakdown too. It'll sound like one of those terrible garage band when you try to make a beat on the thing.
Oh my gosh. So it's like the preset like already has all the beats in it.
Oh, for sure. It's like you make it and you're just like, yo, this is going to be sick. And then you play it and it's just
yeah, this is ass.
Oh, I forgot to ask one thing. The last music video, always. Why the break? Which one's going to be the one from this one?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, we're definitely we're gonna I don't know. I actually don't know yet. I really don't know yet. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Make a movie style with all of it.
See, that's my favorite stuff. Like for always, we try to make it like a movie for sure. But that's like my favorite thing. Like making it like a cinematic like movie. I love like doing like the acting stuff, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you see more of that, don't hate, man.
Oh, I'm ready for that, man. All right, guys. We could go on and on and on, but that's it for today. Shout out to this amazing R&B singer, baseball star, actor, musician.
I do it all, man.
What else?
Snowboarder,
skateboarder, soccer player,
you know
everything.
Basketball player, you can get it.
That's what it is. Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe. Call of Duty player. Don't even come into my lobbies.
Just go on and be like, yo, it's time to get it. All right, guys. This has been the Sit Down on the Hip Hop Guru. Thank you, man. An honor.
Appreciate you, man.
Last time we spoke was a year ago.
It was a year ago.
So now we're here. And the next one's going to be shorter, sooner than that one. So
yeah.
God bless.